Hey, Tua. Hey, I wanted to ask you, I talked to Flo a little bit about this morning, but there's so much national attention on you, on this team, on this defense. With such a young team, is there anything that you guys say to each other to just kind of keep your head focused? And then I also wanted to ask you about another big weekend for the Tagovailoa brothers and just kind of conversations between you and your brother about the success you guys are having so far.
Yeah, I'll start with me and my brother. So, after games, we call one another literally while we're in the locker room. But after this past game, I called my parents, FaceTime them and whatnot, and then I FaceTime my brother. It's always good to just talk to him and whatnot, and he always asks questions and has questions for me. I just tell him certain things that went through my head, and then also talk to him after. But we're always supporting one another in that sense. But I think as a team, I mean, the way we go about doing things every day it's kind of hard to get complacent. And so the way we go about doing things, is just with what Flo says, is just, keeping our head down, continuing to grind. The feeling of winning is good, but the feeling of loss is, I mean, it's the opposite, and we don't want to feel that. And so we know that in order to give us the best chance to be successful, we gotta go in, and we gotta work hard in preparation, as well as executing, like I said, preparation for the team that we're up against.
Hi, Tua. Coach was talking today about your dead leg move on Buda Baker. Said he hadn't seen you use that one at Alabama. I'm wondering, is that a new move? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I was just out there trying to play football. Just I thought I had an opportunity to try and make a guy miss. I know he probably wasn't expecting that. So I mean that was, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Cam?
Hey, Tua, what's up, man? Those are some nice trophies back there. You're nearly, I guess, a year removed from that injury you suffered at Bama. Does that year mark have any added significance for you? And how close do you think you are to your old self?
Oh, man. I don't know if I'll ever be my old self, because when something dramatic like that happens, it's just a continuous process, I think, for me. Just continuing to focus on what I need to do to continue to strengthen the muscles around my hip and so forth, and just continue to stay on rehab. But it's been a journey. It's just been a journey. Just looking back at that whole process, literally almost a year. Sorry, from now, we making a decision to decide if I was going to be able to play again or not. So I'm just blessed to be.
Hey, Tua, how's it going, man? I wanted to ask you about the communication you had with George Godsey throughout the course of the game. I had a chance to speak to Adam Shaheen, who told me that Godsey is one-of-a-kind communicator. I'm just curious about your interactions with Coach and his ability to kind of come in there and do a job that he hadn't been doing all year on the game on Sunday.
I think that's what this whole year's sort of been about. It's been about adjustments, and we didn't have a lot of, our coaches out there. And so we had to make some adjustments coaching wise. So with Godsey being able to take that role, I don't even think this is his first time doing that as well. I understand he's been an OC before too. So this was nothing new to him. But as far as communication went, I think it was a pretty good job from Godsey's part as far as getting the play in, and then also certain reminders coming onto the sideline before series, in and out.
Hey, Tua, I believe last week you said finally being able to get some game film was really beneficial for you. So I'm wondering what you've been able to take away now that you have these 2 starts under your belt. And was there anything you thought you were able to correct or improve upon from start 1 to start 2?
Yeah, start 1, to start too. I mean, I would say we were able to push the ball downfield a lot more. We were able to get into a groove offensively with the pass game, as well as the run game. But I think there's just continuations of what you can improve on. I think that's the best thing, and that's the best way to go about it. When you feel like there's nothing else you can improve on, then that's not good. So.
Yeah, so the NFL Films crew caught a pretty heartfelt moment there at the end of the game where you gave that ball to Flo. What inspired you to do that, and could you just kind of take us into that moment of, did it seem as special as it looked on film?
Yeah, well, I seen Flo, and Flo was waiting, and I had the game ball, and when I went up to him, it was just one of those, like, I don't know. For me, it was like, thank you for taking a shot on me. Because, like I said, a year ago, I mean, who would have known? I could have had a season-ending injury, but the Miami Dolphins decided to take a chance on me. So that was awesome.
Hi, Tua. I wanted to ask you about the wide receiver situation. We got news today that Preston's going to miss at least 3 weeks. How big of a blow is that to the team? What receivers that we haven't seen much of on the field are you confident can step up? And I mean, how are you going to distribute the ball now?
Yeah, it's tough losing someone like Preston, who's kind of been a game changer, for us while he's been in there. He's been targeted a lot more, I feel like, this year in our offense, but I mean, it's next man up, and really it's pretty much all the guys that you guys have seen, against, when we played the Cardinals. That's pretty much the guys that need to step up. And then, there's probably going to be some other guys as well, but it's just really a daily competition for all of us. Receiving core, quarterbacks, the list goes on. And so nothing really changes as far as who I'm going to target more and whatnot. I got to go through my progression, and if that's the open person, then that's where the ball needs to go to.
Hey, Tua, Sam Gordon here from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, checking in all the way out from Vegas. Just wanted to get your perspective. Jerry and Henry have obviously had impacts with their respective teams out here in the AFC West. What made each one of those guys unique to throw to during your time together at Alabama?
Yeah, well, first they're both really good, but they're both really different. Henry is really explosive. He's really fast. Everyone knows that. You can throw it at whatever radius you want to, and he'll go and get it. And then with Jerry, I mean, Jerry's a playmaker. He's those big time plays. Jerry's gonna go down and make those for you. His route running is, I believe it's superb. So, I've been very fortunate to have, been teammates with those guys. And I'm happy for them, with their success that they've been having so far in the NFL.
Hey, Tua, good to see you. Because Justin Herbert was drafted one spot after you, I kind of feel like your careers will always be intertwined, 5, 10, 20 years from now, people will be wondering, well, how did it turn out? They took Tua, they didn't take Justin. How do you process that, and sort of how do you feel about that comparison that will forever be made?
Well, I just think that's just something that's going to have to be dealt with in the media. I mean, I have no animosity towards Justin Herbert. And for me, it's not even a competition between me and him. It's a competition for myself to go out and, see what I can do to help our team be successful against their defense. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for Justin as well. But yeah, that's kind of my thought with all of that. You're all right? You haven't asked a question in a long time, man.
Hey, Tua. This is obviously a unusual year to come into the league. especially for a quarterback trying to get up to speed. I wonder when you look back in the summertime, even though there was, not a lot of like on-field reps to be had, where there would have been usually, and no preseason games. What did you do and your coaches do that allowed you to get up to speed in the preseason that was obviously abnormal?
Yeah, I would say nothing really changed from a camp practice standpoint. I mean, we just practiced, and we'd have walkthroughs for the rookies, and the rookies would have early meetings before our actual position meetings. But yeah, I mean, you said it. It's difficult when you don't have an actual preseason. But I mean, it's for every rookie around the league. We're all learning on the fly right now. So, it's either you're going to pick it up or you're not.